One love, victorious ones. Well, I don't know if you are victorious, but what I know is that I am. And this is all that matters at this point in time in my hologram. So this video is about the rise of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This is coming back full circle, and it is hitting me back here really hard, and I am like flabbergasted by what is happening, and I want to create a Nexus Point here for the collective to put it out there. So grab your scribing book, as suggesting by Rod during our last challenge with him. Scribing is very, very powerful tool, and it is a newer tool to put things on paper. White paper, blue ink is the way to go. So be ready, because there is a lot of download that I will share here. My last video was been on November 9, when I did that video about my summary of my challenge with Raw. And I've been absent from social media for a very, very good reason, and I will further explain later. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Is the leader of that war against Big Pharma, a war that I started back in 2013 when I realized that my son had autism and that he had been injured by an injection. And I am speaking covertly here on purpose, because I always did what I could to protect my channel for the censorship. And something that I want to share here is that mastering covert communication, because there is two types of communication, overt and covert, and to master both for both males and female is key. And I had a deep talk with the love beings about that very topic, and I will put the link for this video below. So this is something that both divine masculine and feminine needs to master, because male speaks like cavemen and women speaking covertly. It's their preferred language. So we need to be able to bridge the gap between the divine masculine and feminine. And I am also referring back to a talk we had with the Communicators, another powerful video that is on my YouTube channel. The link is below. YouTube and Rumble as well, two channels, the backup channels. So the Communicators are the archetype of communication, and we had a profound talk with them from higher realm to assist us in this ascension process.
Both polarities have to use communication, which is why the Communicators are here today, aren't we?
Yeah.
So the truth, from Lemuria to Atlantis, what was the big problem?
Communication.
Communication. And you think that now it's different. The problem only evolved and the scenery has changed.
Process. So yeah, back to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I found him back early in my autism recovery journey. He founded the World Mercury Project a while ago, many years ago. I don't know when he founded it, but I found Robert F. Kennedy Jr. maybe 2014, 15 maybe. And I became a member of the World Mercury Project, which back then was a foundation where he was studying the effect of mercury in the rivers and the environment. And this was his starting point about the toxicity of heavy metals in the environment and how it was making people sick. And it is a mother of an autistic children that brought to his attention, told him, Robert, if you want to better understand the role of heavy metals on human health, you better look elsewhere into those injections. And back then he knew that, oh my God, like he didn't want to, according to what I understood from him, to dive deep into that topic, because he knew that if he would do it and see something there was no way back from it. But he did it. He understood the real science, the archonic science, right? Reptilian science behind. And I don't want to put all the reptilians into that bucket, It goes beyond just reptilians and other. There are many races and the big galactic war involved into this, but I don't want to digress. So he went deep into that rabbit hole, and he nailed it. And so far, he is the leader of the rise against Big Pharma. And my first video that I put online, so this is a tribute to him that I am bringing back to life, is I put my first ever video online that I put out there with my face. It was back in 2018. So 7 years ago. Now we are 2025. And this is when I said, fuck it. I threw the glove, took out my sword, and went full on against Big Pharma publicly with my face. And back then you needed a lot of balls to do that, because the program was much more stronger than it is today. Today in 2025, if you decide to do so, it's like the heavy lifting has already been done, but still it's important to do it and to voice your voice and to shine your light, whatever it means. So I did it back then, and the video that I did will follow this introduction. And back then I needed to delete my original YouTube channel, which was called Warrior Dad Vince. So this is my first online name. It went from Warrior Dad Vince, it evolved to Divine Masculine Mindset, and now it is Divine Masculine, it evolved to Spiritual Alpha Mindset, and now it evolved to Divine Masculine Mindset. And I have an idea for maybe another coming evolution that would be Sun King Mindset, but I will hold that back for now because I feel it would be too much for the collective to really tap into that archetype. But I don't know when I will, if I will, or when I will make the switch. But I will refer more and more about the Sun King archetype in my videos, which is an archetype that everybody can tap into it. Yeah, this is another topic that I don't want to digress. So I did that video that I had to remove because of a matrix attack against me, because back then I was not aware of the Agent Smith effect. So I was very verbal, and yeah, I just spoke a little bit too much, and I got, there is like a, back then, social worker that make a signaling to the CPS, Child Protection Services, because she didn't understand my thing. And it was, back then I will just put the word about parasites, and I don't want to further expand on that, because this is also, parasites are becoming more mainstream now. And I have a lot, I could make dozens of videos about parasites. I have a huge background about how to deal with them, which are a physical representation of the energetic parasites, the archonic energy that are like parasites to us. The physical representation is inside us. And this is a real pandemic, by the way, but I will leave it there for now. So yeah, so she, without understanding, her program was to make a preventive signaling to CPS. So I had to deal with that government agency, which is a legal entity that have all the power to kidnap kids. And I defeated them. And I knew other parents, like very good parents, that their kid has been taken away from them for like stupid reasons. So back then it was a big wake-up call. So this is why I deleted everything, because on my original Warrior Dad Vince channel, there was that video that I am about to show you. And I was not speaking like that. I couldn't, this was back in my late 30s. I couldn't look at the camera like that and speak my mind. I was petrified. So I decided like to take it head on and to work on it. And today I'm on my path to become a master communicator in a foreign language. So my whole YouTube channel has been like a massive therapy for me. So here I am 7 years later. So back then I started uploading like videos about, let's say, the Justin Trudeau Foundation and their logo. Symbolism will be their downfall, right? Logo, boy lovers type of things. And I will leave it like that for now. but it's all coming to light now. It's game over for them, so all is well. So yes, I'm looking at my notes here because I'm going a bit all over the place, but that is on purpose because I have a lot to share. So yeah, so back then, again, something that I want to share is that the video that I am about to introduce to you, I couldn't speak myself to introduce it. So back then I was in touch with one of my friends called Dustin Nemos. This is his online name. Very smart guy, YouTuber. Back then he had a huge, significant YouTube channel, and because he started to decode like QAnon drops, which I found him right away, and those drops were activating me like crazy. So this is how I found him on the internet, and we had talks. I became friend with him. He was very aware about my situation with my son, with autism situation, and I asked him the favor to make the introduction of my video back then. So the video that I am about to show you has been, the introduction has been made by him, and I'm very grateful for Dustin for doing that, because I couldn't at the time, and he did it for me, so that was very, very kind. So yeah, and with him I had a little debate. It was a debate between him and the love beings that are, according to my understanding and perspective, are extraterrestrials from the Galactic Federation, assisting us in this ascension process, and to normalize the fact that extraterrestrials always have been there, and that we are in the process to reconnecting with our cosmic family. The planet Earth is being freed, as we are speaking now, from the archonic prison planet that has been there like since a very, very long time. So so long story short, I recontacted him after the love being contacted me through channeling, through Rose, through Niyama, and I told him about this encounter. And for him, he went from being how do you say that, someone that is not religious, I will find it back and put the word there, so to being like a Christian. And yeah, so for him, according to his new upgraded perspective, the Earth is flat and extraterrestrials don't exist, and therefore for him the only being that I could be in touch with were like demons or something like that, which I respectfully like disagreed. But still, it created a very interesting two-part videos on my YouTube channel, which is a debate between Dustin and the love beings. And he didn't talk to them directly, it was through email, and I was asking the question to the love beings, and they were replying back to him about the debate about them being like demons versus extraterrestrial benevolent beings. So very interesting two-part videos that I have the call to bring back to the surface, that you can see the link of those videos here in the description. A very interesting debate, and Dustin is a very good debater, very, very good, very smart, very literate, and I learned from him a lot about the speech and how to speak to a camera. I studied him a lot, so I'm very, very grateful for my path with Dustin. And yeah, I'm looking at my notes again. I spoke about pretty much everything. If I am missing anything, I can always come back in the editing process and to add something here. So this is the beauty of recording video offline. And yeah, something that I didn't, I spoke at the beginning, but I didn't clarify, is why I have been out of social media since mid-October. Is because I went through another dark night of the soul, the most badass dark night of the soul so far, and it looks like you can have more than one. I thought it was behind me, most of my healing was done, but when you ascend and you dig deeper, you go more within, there is like deeper aspect of yourself that needs to be healed and things that needs to be exposed and brought up to light. And I've been through that process for the past couple of months, and it has been like a very, very, very tough and like challenge, but I'm coming out of it in this glorious day of February, back full force into the mission. And it's another rite of passage. And like the love beings like to say, pressure creates diamond.
Nobody gets strong by staying flat on their back. You get strong by building, destroying, ripping your muscles so that they can rebuild themselves again. It's quite simple, actually. But human refuses to go through the trial. They dislike it. They don't enjoy it. They want everything to be easy. But when it's too easy, they get lazy and they get bored. We would suggest that you focus on your own process and on your own creation and on your own inner battles. Then the battle that you win will have a ripple effect in your realm and elevate your existence.
So with that being said and no further ado, I wish you all the best. I love you all as always, and enjoy my very, very, very first video that I ever put out there with my face on it, which is a statement: in a war you need to show your colors. And I could do it because I have a very anti-fragile life other than my kids that I needed to protect, and I still need to protect to this day. So when they will be adults, I will be able to speak without any restriction. So this is what I have to say for now, and love you all and see you in the next one.
Did you know there's a war on for your health? Hi, my name is Dustin Nemos, and I'm a YouTuber who covers, among other issues, the ongoing battle between holistic health and those who practice it, often demonized, and the big pharma medical mafia types that are creating customers, not cures. I was really honored when my friend Warrior Dad Vincent asked me to do the introduction for this video. I can tell he put a lot of work into this, and a lot of his heart has been poured into this as well. He's a good friend of mine, he's a good guy, and he cares deeply about fixing the problems that are affecting children like his own across the world. I hope you guys will consider checking out this video, subscribing to his channel, and helping him fight the good fight, not just for his health, not just for his child's health, but for everyone's health. Check out his channel and enjoy the video.
I can remember the days before my first baby was born that all I wanted was for that child to be healthy. And I prayed about it, and I didn't care if it was a boy or a girl or whether he or she was good in sports or good in school. I just wanted a healthy, happy baby. And I can't imagine the heartbreak, the devastation to parents when they find out that their child isn't healthy. and particularly if they find out that the injury that that child is suffering was completely unnecessary. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I'm the chairman of the board and the senior prosecuting attorney for Children's Health Defense. The greatest crisis that America faces today, as big as any of our environmental crises, is the chronic disease epidemic in America's children. The generation of American children born after 1990 are arguably the sickest generation in the history of our country, with chronic ailments and pediatric rates of some chronic conditions that are the highest in the world. For example, according to CDC, 1 in every 6 American children has been diagnosed with a developmental disability such as autism, ADD, ADHD, or learning disabilities. And according to HHS, an astonishing 54% of American children has a chronic disease like rheumatoid arthritis or juvenile diabetes. Our children today are wandering around in a toxic soup. We need to do the science, and we need to figure out which one of these chemicals and these exposures is causing these problems in our children. And the 54% of kids who have chronic disease does not tell the whole story. We're seeing a global downturn in IQ in the planet's children. And how is it that our federal agencies are not asking that essential question, what is debilitating America's children? We need to know that answer, and we need to stop these exposures to our children today. And I'm going to fight for you, and I'm going to fight for your children, and I need your support because the forces that I'm up against are forces that have been able to compromise every major institution in our democracy. And the people who stand up against them get crushed. But I know how to fight them because I've spent a lifetime fighting big shots and fighting bullies. And that's who they are. And that's who we're dealing with today. People who have that arrogance of power. People who believe that they can get away with anything, including destroying the lives of our children. I'm not going to let them do that. And I am going to fight to the last day of my life with the last bit of energy I have to make sure that we get justice for these children, to make sure that we can produce now a healthy generation of American children that doesn't have this epidemic of neurological and other injuries. And I will spend the rest of my life fighting to make sure that no other child in this country or any other country suffers this kind of unnecessary injury again. And I will die with my boots on fighting for these children.
fasen, man. Let up. Yeah.